Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Lions start this epic Sunday for Detroit sports with a W in Cincinnati to make it 4 straight wins for this football team after losing at Lambeau to open up the 2025 season. Remember all those people who wrote us off after one game, the first game of the season, especially nationally? Remember how many people are writing this team off after just one game, the first game of this season? Oh, Lions are done. They miss Ben Johnson. They miss Aaron Glenn, blah, 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 blah. 4 straight since then. 4. Let's go, baby. Throw up the W's, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Lions win in Cincinnati to start this epic Sunday for Detroit sports. 1 down, 1 to go. Let's go, Tigers, baby. Until then, let's talk about this Lions win. First of all, though, ladies and gentlemen, please give me a quick minute to take care of some business, and then we will talk about this Lions win in Cincinnati. I first of all want to thank the sponsor of this video, Michigan-based Roast Summer Coffee. A lot of you already know the routine by now, but just in case you don't, hot coffee, cold brews, chocolate, all kinds of great drinks and treats for you to try and enjoy. Get yourself a nitro cold brew, in my opinion, and let's cheers to this Lions victory, our 4th straight win, baby. Let's cheers and celebrate this Lions win. Visit our website, roastsummer.com. Link is in the description below, and if you find something that you want to try and make an order, you can always save some money on that order by using my code TonyD. Shout out to Roast Summer, thank you once again for sponsoring this video. And also, if you can all, please do me a big favor, leave a like on this one and hit that subscribe button. Hit a DB safety sack on the sub button for this Lions win in Cincinnati. I very much appreciate it. And that takes care of the quick business that I need to take care of. Let's talk about this Lions win now in Cincinnati. So, the first thing that really comes to my mind with this game is the fact that this was definitely a weird game, a little bit, you know. I definitely wouldn't say this is a completely perfect win for the Lions by any means. You know, offensively, a little slowish there in the first half. You know, we definitely had some offensive struggles there in the first half of this football game, but then we definitely clicked in the second half for sure. But yeah, offensively in the first half, definitely not perfect, and then defensively as well. I mean, the game was already over when Cincinnati put up those 21 points in the fourth quarter. You know, I never thought, at least for me personally, I never thought this game was in doubt, even when Cincinnati was starting to show a little bit of life in this game, but nonetheless, you don't entirely love seeing the defense give up 21 points there in the fourth quarter, even if the game was never in doubt, you know? So, again, it's definitely not a perfect win for the Lions, but hey, a win is a win, especially in the National Football League, and I definitely think there are way more positives than negatives in this football game. I really don't even think there are too many negatives anyway. Like, again, I kind of feel like it wasn't a perfect win, but it's still a win nonetheless. And even despite some offensive struggles in the first half, and despite the defense giving up 21 points in the fourth quarter, like, I still thought it was a good day offensively, and I still thought it was a really good day defensively too. Again, despite those things I just pointed out there a few seconds ago. Beginning with the defense, you know, again, other than the defense giving up 21 points in the fourth quarter when the game really wasn't in reach, you know, but putting that aside, the defense really up until that point I thought was awesome. I thought they were playing awesome again in this football game. Round of applause for Shep and his defensive guys for really playing their asses off in this football game. Again, despite 21 points there in the fourth quarter, that doesn't even really matter because we still ended up winning this game pretty comfortably too, you know. Despite the fourth quarter there, despite some points from Cincinnati, despite the Bengals showing a little bit of life even when they really didn't have a ton of life in this football game, you know. Other than that, I thought it was a great day from this Lions defense. They're getting takeaways, specifically 3 interceptions in this game. Amik Robinson, you can't bury what comes from the effing dirt. He is an absolute dog. He had an interception. Kirby with an interception as well. And then for Alex Anzalone, the 3 Lions interceptions in this football game. Great job from them. Aiden Hutchinson with another sack in this one, along with the forced fumble. He should have had at least 2 sacks before he actually got a sack in this football game, but unfortunately, defensive penalties for the Lions took those sacks away. Nonetheless, this is all to say, Hutch with a sack and a forced fumble today. Beast, as per the usual. And then DB at the end of the game there with that safety sack as well. Great job to get a little bit of pressure there on the Cincinnati Bengals offense, which that's actually another thing. You know, when I say I thought it was a good day for the Lions defense, I'm sure there's some people that are like, it's Cincinnati. I would hope you would have a good day against this offense. You know, I hope you would have a good day against Jake Browning, which is true. I'm not saying it's not. But at the same time, me personally, I really don't care who the opponent is. I don't care who the quarterback is. When you can put up a good defensive day like the Lions did today, and like we have seen them really have to begin this 2025 season, I'm always going to applaud that. I'm always going to applaud that no matter the opponent. That's what I'm doing today. I don't care who the opponent is. I don't care how bad Jake Browning has been struggling in Cincinnati. The Lions defense had a good day today, getting sacks, getting takeaways, getting interceptions. I'm always going to applaud that. Again, great job from Shep and his guys in this football game today. Now moving on to the Lions offense. Again, despite a little bit of struggle there in the first half, I thought they really locked in the second half of this game for sure. The scoring drive that I was most impressed with was the one there in the fourth quarter. You know, that was when Cincinnati was showing a little bit of life. Even though I never thought this game was in doubt personally, they were still showing a little bit of life. And it was like, okay, if the Lions don't score here, Cincinnati, you know, that window opens up a little bit more. You know, you're giving them a little bit more life than they kind of don't have, but at the same time kind of do have. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So for the Lions offense to score there and kind of put this game on ice and kind of say, okay, you have no life in this one. You are not coming back to win this football game. This is our victory. You're not coming back in this one. For the Lions to drive down the field there, score, and put the exclamation point on this victory on the road, great job. I was most impressed with that scoring drive from the Lions offense in this football game for sure. QB1 JG16, 19 for 23 with 258 yards and 3 passing touchdowns. Good stuff from QB1. Jared Goff. We heard the Jared Goff chants at the end of this game in Cincinnati. If you were a Lions fan that was in Cincinnati tonight, round of applause for you as well. We heard you throughout the game tonight. Man, there was a lot of Honolulu blue in those stands, man. There was a lot of Honolulu blue in those stands, man. You could just see it through the broadcast. I had some friends who were in Cincinnati for this game, and they told me even on Saturday night, because they were at like the bars or whatever watching the Tigers game, they were even saying, like, yeah, downtown at all the bars we went to, there was a lot of Lion fans. So the night before the game and then the game itself, a lot of Detroit fans there. We love to see it. Shout out to the fans who took over another road game for this Detroit Lions team. But yeah, getting back to the offensive stars for the Lions in this victory, David Montgomery. JG had 3 touchdown passes, 3 throwing touchdown passes. So did David Montgomery, man. How about that? The hometown kid. That's awesome. That is so cool. The hometown kid returned to Cincinnati and not only has a rushing touchdown, but a passing touchdown. I think they said in the broadcast that is the first Lions non-quarterback to have a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown since like 1958 or whatever they said. That's awesome. That is really cool. And the fact they came for Monty in his hometown of Cincinnati in front of his family, that's awesome, man. That warms the heart. That is awesome. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. When they showed the story and they talked about how Monty's playing in front of his family there in Cincinnati and specifically his sister, I'm not going to lie to you, man. It was kind of like, for me, like, geez, who's cutting onions in here? Like, you know, that warmed the heart. That made me smile. That was so cool, man. Shout out to Monty. Shout out to Monty. We love him here in the Motor City. Great game for him today in his return to his hometown of Cincinnati. That was Knuckles' performance today. How about Sonic? Another game for Sonic and Knuckles, both with a rushing touchdown. I think they said on the broadcast today that ties an NFL record. That ties an NFL record for the amount of games that both Sonic and Knuckles have scored a touchdown in a football game. Sonic and Knuckles, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. If you ask me, if you ask a lot of other people, the best running back duo in the NFL. Great job from Sonic and Knuckles in this game. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 100 yards receiving, 2. Sam Laporta, great game for Sam. 92 yards, just shy of 100 yards receiving, and a touchdown. Sam was a beast today, as he always is. Brock Wright caught the touchdown pass from David Montgomery. That is cool. Shout out to Brock. And then how about, last but not least, Isaac Tesla. A little bit of Snow Angel action in there, huh? I like the call out there, too. I like the call there as well. You know, what do you say, like, on this October day, still doing a little bit of Snow Angels or something along those lines? I thought that was cool. I enjoyed that. Awesome TD celebration there from Isaac Tesla, who actually caught a touchdown pass with 2 hands. How about that? Who caught a touchdown pass with 2 hands there. Yeah, that was cool. Great job from Tesla. Great job from this offense. Despite some offensive struggles in the first half, they really locked in the second half. They locked in there when they really needed to in the fourth quarter. Great job. Great job from the offense. And then I'll give some love to the special teams as well. You know, Jack Fox was making his punts as he always does. And Jake Bates was making his kicks as well, as he usually does too. All in all, ladies and gentlemen, maybe not a perfect win. Like, maybe there are some things to look back on and like, all right, you would wish this was better or this was better. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? But despite that, though, I still feel like there's a lot more positives. As I said earlier in the video, there's a lot more positives to this victory. A win is a win. Offensively, defensively, special teams, all three phases, with a lot of positives in this victory. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Good stuff, Lions, to make it 4 straight since opening up the season. 0-1. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Offensive and defensive players of the game for the Lions in this victory. Offensively, I really wanted to go Sam. Sam was a beast today. Shout out to Sam. Even though he's not my offensive player of the game, he deserves a lot of credit for this one. But I'm going to go Monty. How do you not go Monty? Again, in his homecoming, in front of his family, in front of his sister. Passing touchdown, rushing touchdown. You have to go Monty, man. You have to go Knuckles. I will go Knuckles as my offensive player of the game. And then defensively, you know, there's a lot of guys you could give it to. I'll give it to Amik. You know, other than one of the touchdowns from Jamar Chase, I believe, where it looks like he kind of got Amik's number there. Other than that, like, you know, when we had 3 interceptions in this game, Amik had the first one. He's the first one that kind of set that tone defensively, if you ask me. And, you know, Amik also stepping up and starting on the outside for DJ Reed today. Huge. Absolutely huge. Amik is a dog, as we all know. I love Amik. We all love Amik. You can't bury what comes from the dirt, man. You can't bury what comes from the dirt. Amik's a dog. He was great today, I thought. I'll give him my defensive player of the game in this one. Good win, Lions. Good win, Lions. Let's keep it going. Next up for this Lions team, we're going to Kansas City for Sunday Night Football in Arrowhead against the Chiefs. We've done it before. We have went into Arrowhead. We've went into Kansas City on prime time and gotten a big time win over the Chiefs. What do you say we do it again? How about we do it again? Let's go, man. Let's go. I will see you following Sunday Night Football from Kansas City, where the Lions will be looking to make it 5 straight wins. Until then, that's all I got for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. As I mentioned earlier in the video, leave a like on this one and hit a DB safety sack on that subscribe button. I very much appreciate it. We will see you following the Lions' next game in Kansas City on Sunday Night Football. Until then, as always, go Tigers, go Lions, baby.